What's up, everybody? Nate Sarantino here, back with another episode of the Guided Spirits podcast. And today, the topic I want to talk about is the value of chasing your dreams. So, to start off, it really comes down to when you're on your deathbed, what do you want to remember your life being? And then secondly, what do you want the people that you influence to remember you as? And this goes with your personality, your character, and all the achievements and things that you did in your life, whether they be good or bad, because it's very easy to remember someone for all the bad they did. Take Hitler or Stalin or any of the other people in the world who have done terrible things through history. Granted, you can always find positives and everything, but like some people did a lot of harm and they hurt a lot of people. So that's the first thing to take into account. Like, how do you want to help people? Because if you want to hurt people, you should probably reflect on that, and I hope that you don't want to. But getting back to the positives, I was once at a stage in my life where I really was low, and this was in September of 2021, the September 20th. It's the day that I almost died. That morning I woke up gasping for air, and when I was like really on my deathbed, I came to the realization that all I did my entire life was do drugs, and not like anything bad, but just like smoke weed, vape, and like my entire high school like experience was playing hockey and smoking weed and vaping an excessive amount. Like the most excessive amount you can possibly imagine. Like every day for hours, like every 5 minutes I had to use some high level nicotine device, and it caught up to me by the year after I graduated. I graduated high school in 2021, that fall. Everything hit the fan, especially that summer of 2021. That's when things got really bad. So, when it comes down to it, I look at my life and I'm like, wow, like this is what I was going towards. This is what I did to myself. And look at where I am now. I'm recording a podcast. Well, obviously I wouldn't be recording this podcast if I wasn't chasing my dreams. And when it comes down to it, your dreams are what is going to give you a sense of self-worth and a sense of value. Like, when you dream of doing something, you're going to do whatever it takes to make your dream come true. Hopefully you will. And that's the idea of going all or nothing. And if you aren't afraid to go all in on whatever you're doing, you probably don't have a big enough passion to actually do it for the rest of your life. Granted, you don't have to do everything your entire life. However, if you are going into a new career, or if you are focused on a particular niche or like lifestyle that you want, you should definitely be putting almost, I'd say 95% of your effort in, like, on this one particular part. Like, I mean, yeah, things get different when you have a family and you have other people relying on you and you're working on relationships. But for me, personally, I can still balance all this stuff while really putting my all into the podcast. And with that being said, just today, I picked up 4 new microphones and headsets and a Rodecaster board for like the equalizer, and I'm gonna start hooking that stuff up, and I'm gonna find a place for a little podcast studio. And this podcast is about to get a big upgrade. Excuse me. The next upgrade will be cameras, and everything's really coming along, but once you start investing more money into something, especially something that you love doing, and I'm not making any money off this, And if you love doing something, you're not going to be afraid to like invest money. That's why people invest money into cars or into any hobby. And this podcast is becoming less of a hobby and more of something I dislike. I guess it is becoming more of a hobby at this point, but I expect that this podcast is going to build my name, and that's exactly why I do it, because one, I love speaking, two, I love teaching people, and three, I needed somewhere to put out the knowledge that I have so other people can learn what I know and apply it in their own life, as knowledge without application means nothing. So when it comes down to it, the value I'm presenting to you all right now is that when you get to your last days and you are reflecting on your life, and I'm going to be honest, when you're getting close to your death, you're going to know. You're going to know when you're starting to slow down, whether it be from illness or sickness, or whether you're just something doesn't feel right. You're gonna know. And when that comes around, you're gonna be like, shit, I gotta either A, do something, or B, I'm really happy with the life I lived. And I'm at the point already at 21 years old, I say that every day. I say I'm really happy with the life I've lived, and I'm chasing my dreams every day. I could die at any moment, and I would be completely, I'm ecstatic about where I came from to where I'm at now, and I just want to continue my journey. And with that being said, I'm never afraid to die at any moment I could, but because of the way I've taken on life and my view now, I see that death is nothing but a door. The other side is my imagination. What I believe the other side of life to be, of that door, is a better place, a place of abundance and prosperity, more than we have here, a place of pure love, a pure joy. I believe I go back to the source, which is a place of that absolute prosperity of your soul, the place where your soul is at home. And it's and imagine home is where the heart is right now, and then move it to where you originated from before you were in this body. Wherever you came from, that's where I believe you go. You go back to the source. And keeping that in mind, getting over your fear of death, and then when you hit that point, you embrace it. You embrace the life you live. You embrace whatever it is. Embrace feelings. Don't suffocate them. When you try to suppress any feelings, they will boil. They will get compounded, and then eventually you'll have so many feelings stuck inside of you that they'll boil out, and it will come in the form of a meltdown, or it will come in the form of, I guess, I don't know the best way to put it, but it's you just explode. You have a whole lot of anger, or maybe it's a whole lot of passion or a whole lot of love. It's it can come in many different forms, these emotions, if they're tucked in, especially for the sake of the argument, we'll call it anger. If you have a bunch of pent up anger, and finally it's one thing that someone says, and it's oh my gosh, it seems like this person had been holding this in for years. Well, those things happen all the time, and the best way to avoid a big meltdown like that is to have your voice heard at all times. And that means sometimes you have to speak your mind and understand societal norms, but don't be afraid to say what you have to say. And in my podcast, I do this exactly, and I talk about my beliefs more. I've been talking about whatever I want to talk about, and the idea is I want everyone to feel comfortable with sharing what they love to do on while they're here on this planet. Everyone deserves to feel that love and that abundance, and that really comes from chasing your dreams. And if you're afraid to chase your dreams, maybe because someone told you that they're unreasonable, or they're too big, or they just can't be done, I mean, from telepathy to levitation to using your chi to like maneuver water or fire. There's so many different ways to alter the world, like spiritually, and then physically. You can, I mean, think about building all these skyscrapers. I'm the first one that comes to my mind is the Empire State Building in New York City. That building is massive. Think about what that would have been like for people to fathom back, say, 200 years ago at the beginning, or like the beginning stages of the United States. It's like, it's crazy to like comprehend how like one person was like, wow, I think we can do this. They came up with an idea and they imagined it, and then it went on to paper, and then it came into real life. And that's like what you have to do with all your dreams. You have to have this thought, then you have to bring your thought onto paper, and then you bring your paper into real life. And that's exactly what I do with my podcast. I write some notes down. I write down my idea, my topic, maybe a couple bullet points if I have to, and then I just speak whatever I feel has to be said at the moment. And that's what you should be doing with your life. You should listen to your intuition. Trust your instincts. A lot of people are afraid of their own instincts. They're afraid of their intuition because they think it goes against societal norms. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be that way sometimes. Sometimes you have to do the things that you don't think are right. You don't think they're right for society, but you know they're right for you. And I don't mean go around and kill someone who is causing you harm, or like go like, I don't know, covet someone's wife or whatever it may be. It's like, you have to have morals and ethics, but you have to chase your dreams. When it comes down to it, if you knew you were gonna die in like a year, 6 months, 3 months, like, what would you tell everyone? What information do you have that you like, wow, I need to get this out? Or like, if I only had this much time, what would I spend my time doing? Like, what do I love doing more than anything else? And some people may like go straight to like eating or straight to sex, two very low vibrational things in my opinion. But when it comes down to it, everyone has a purpose on this earth. And your purpose is the thing that you love doing more than anything else. And I can give an example from my friend Jayus right now, and he loves like communicating and talking with people, but his passion for the gym and his creativity and his workouts and how he like maneuvers and he like uses his body while he's working out is incredible. I went to the gym with him today and I was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe what he was doing, and he's so strong. His physique is legitimately one of the nicest looking bodies I have ever seen in my life. And yet he looks at me and he's like, bro, how do you look like that? And I say, well, I do the work. Like, I've been putting in the reps for a long time when it comes to going to the gym, and it shows in my body, and the same shows in his. So, like, it's simple things. Like, if you have a dream and you really want your dream to come true, the first thing I can tell you to help that dream come true is to put in the reps. Whatever it is, whether you're a fitness and nutrition coach, whether you're a podcaster, whether you're a musician, an artist in some form, whether you're building skyscrapers or computers, whether you are a cook, whether you are whatever it may be, whatever you do, you gotta put in the time and the effort. And there's this thing called the 10,000 hour rule to become like a true like master of whatever it is that you do. And this is like, for instance, with the YouTuber Mr. Beast. The reason he's so good at like creating viral videos is he's like mastered like the title and like the thumbnail and how to like make a good video. He put in the time to do that. And if you look at Mr. Beast like upcoming and how he like formed his channel, you will see what I mean. Like, he would wake up, he built like a team of like 4 or 5 people, I forget exactly, and he would just wake up and spend all day creating content until he would go to sleep, and he did this for months. I don't even know how long for sure, but I know he put in the time, and that's why he is where he is. He is like one of the best YouTubers at the moment, and I mean that as kindly as possible to everyone else, but and for like a lot of people, he is like someone they look up to, and it's a lot of responsibility being that person. But how did he become this person? It's by chasing his dreams, by pursuing YouTube in the first place, and by doing what he loves. And that's what I'm telling all of you to do as well, because you really do have to find your niche, find what you love doing. And once again, I'll go back to me and what I love doing. I love speaking, I love teaching people from the experiences and the knowledge I have, and how to live a better life, how to be more prosperous, how to find that joy, that love, that happiness. Whatever it is that you want, I can help you find it. I can help you find what you need, what you want. It's like anything. It basically comes down to the Hermetic principles, and then understanding the difference between what you love and what you like. If you can differentiate love versus like, you're going to be able to find your niche, and you're going to be able to find the people you love, the people you want to spend your time around. You're going to find the activities and the purpose that you feel you are here to serve. Those are the things that you have to remember when it comes to finding your purpose or chasing your dreams. Every dream starts with one simple thing, and that's a thought. You are not your thoughts, but you are the person or the entity that chooses to react to them. React to the ones that bring good to you and everyone around you, and allow the ones that bring harm to you and everyone around you to this go. Not everything has to be reacted upon. Not everything has to have words said out loud, or words written in paper, or even worse, action done in the physical world. You can just have a thought pop into your head and just let it go. And you can have other thoughts that you contemplate and you meditate on. That's the best way to do it. You should come up with an idea and start to envision it. Start to think, what could this become? Like, if I pursued this idea, how far could I actually go with it? Where can I run to? And why am I running there? Like, what do I want to do with it? Like, and the idea of running there is because you love doing it so much. You're not gonna fucking walk. You want to get there. You love it. You want to get to where you want to go. So you might as well run, because walking takes forever, and you're probably gonna die too early if you just walk. If you slow down too much, you end up dying. That's when shit hits the fan. It's because you were probably going a little bit too slow, or you were going in the wrong direction. And if you're going in the wrong direction, the universe will tell you. It will show you signs, and the signs will often come in the form of bad luck. Bad luck, to me, is very simple. It comes down to me trying to force things that weren't meant for me. And when I buy a car and the transmission blows in 2 months, obviously I shouldn't have bought that car, because not only was it not meant for me, but I didn't put in the time or effort into figuring out more details about the car. If I would have, I would have realized, wow, I don't actually like this car. There's a lot of things I don't like about it. And this is basically the story of the WRX. I think the car is really cool looking, but how it drives, how it feels, it's not really my thing. It's not my style. I like comfort, and I like luxury when it comes down to it. I'd prefer that versus a race car. So what did I get? I got a broken race car, and I got no fun. I got a bunch of money wasted. It's all about figuring out what's meant for you and what's not, and you only get this by trying new things and being fearless when it comes to seizing opportunities. And the worst case scenario is you die. But at the end of the day, like, that doesn't happen most of the time. Most of the time, you just go through life and you have to deal with the little consequences, whether it be you lose a bunch of money, whether it be you lose someone really close to you. And not in death, but just like you lose a friend because you said the wrong thing. You lose a loved one because they can't take you anymore. You can't take them. Like, the energy, this isn't there. Like, you can't relate. Like, that happens all the time with people, and especially in, like, significant others and, like, those kind of relationships. Those often end because of lack of communication and just a lack of, like, that mutual respect for one another. And I've seen it in my own relationships, and I've seen it in other people's relationships. And it really comes down to, like, who do you want in your life? Like, why do you want them there? What value do they bring to you? What value can you bring to them? And when you have mutual respect and you respect your passion and you respect what you love doing and you respect the people you love, everything's going to become a lot better for you. It's just going to grow, and that growth is inevitable. Whether you want it or not, it's going to come to you, and you're either going to choose to grow with it or you're going to fall. And if you fall, well, as Juice WRLD once said, it's a long way down to hell. And it's, like, metaphorical, of course, but falling in the sense of, like, whatever it may be, you just, like, you go down the wrong path too far, like, you're probably gonna wind up in a situation that causes you to die. You can only do drugs for so long, in my experience. Like, I vaped for a certain amount of time and smoked weed for a certain amount of time without actually adding any value to the world around me. Well, what did it get me? It got me on my deathbed, and that's the truth. And if you don't want the truth, well, you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast, because that's all I'm here to give. So if there's something I really want you to take away from this, it's chase your dreams, because when you hit that point where you're like, shit, like, am I actually, like, about to die? Or am I dying? And that voice in your head says yes. You're going to either say, fuck, I wish I did it differently, or you're going to say, I am so relieved I did everything I said I was going to do. I'm so grateful that I had the experiences that I had. I'm so blessed I was able to help all those people and to build such a big company, or such a big, great, like, prosperous family, or I raised great kids, or whatever it may be. There's so many blessings, and there's so many things you can count up. But when it really comes down to it, if there's one thing that I've learned in my life, it's trust my intuition, and you should trust yours. No one else is going to have the same intuition as you, and that's a promise. And second, be yourself, and don't be afraid to leave others behind, because sometimes not everyone's going to make it to the top with you. And when I say the top, you can take it how you want it, metaphorically, literally, religiously, scientifically, spiritually, whatever you want to see the top as. That's up to your imagination. But the way I see it is in vibration, and I call it Christ consciousness. Thank you for listening, and have a great rest of your day.